two, but I know you can now learn from what I'm expecting from your team. So that's why it's good to attend and see what other teams are doing as well. So it's really, really good to kind of appraise yourself from that aspect, to be honest. So, but it's really, really good actually. So compared to what we did in the first sprint, sprint zero, and now you guys have actually raised the standard, to be honest. So initially I was saying, okay, was it the same people that came to do the last presentation? But this is really, really good. Even the slide has really, really improved. You can see what you guys presented. I think you should be proud of yourself. Well done to everyone. This is really, really good. Even if you can give this presentation in sprint one like this, we are still going to do sprint two, sprint three, sprint four, sprint five. To be honest, maybe at the end of sprint three, I can ask you guys to to graduate with this level that you are going actually. So, so I think it's really, really good actually. Alpha, you guys, I think you guys were the best, so to say, actually. And the way you started, you raised the bar, and I don't think anyone actually met that bar, to be honest. So, and yeah, maybe the next team came close to you, but I think you did very well. I will tell you now. Okay, in terms of alpha, yeah, the presentation was good. Even the slide was wonderful, good presentation. I would say in terms of the content, yeah, your description was okay. And quickly, I want to say to everyone now, I'll be telling you some of the tasks. The guild, please do write it down. The first task, this applies to everybody, is these job descriptions, right? What you guys have done is good, but now I want you to kind of uh, do another one, right? This one, you need to do it as if you are writing your CV, right? So when you are doing, for instance, let's say, uh, yeah. So I think from what these guys have written, said creating sprint report, right? I want to see creating a sprint report using blah blah blah. What tool did you use, right? Don't just and don't want like 4 or 5 words. I want a sentence the same way you put in a CV. So at least let's put 20 stuff there. 20 job description, okay? 20 job description. What is your role within your team? So I want the scrum master to give me 21. So it's going to be what you do, the tools that you use to do it as well. Do you get it now? Yeah. So what you do, the tools that you use to do it, right? So for instance, facilitating meetings or scrum meetings using blah blah blah, or elicitation of requirement using these particular techniques. Do you get it now? Yeah. So, or writing wireframe using Balsamic, and yeah, do you get it now? And also maybe creating manual testing using Azure DevOps with all those techniques that you use. So I want at least 20 of this. Okay. So this is good for those guys that, so you can come together, do it. So, and one thing I want you to also do, right? You can watch this video back, you can get insight from that. So at the end of this particular program, everyone should know how to do their CVs actually. So you are going to do it step by step now. Now you know what you've done, right? So now what you've done, put it in a bullet point of 20 bullet points, right? So and let us have that with here. So that is what you're going to do for the next sprint, and put it in that PowerPoint presentation. This is very, very important. And one thing I also need from you guys as another task from your presentation, I want the list of, okay, this applies to everybody as well, okay, not only Alpha. Your first or second slide, right? I want list of everybody and with what they've done, right? If this person is a BA, I want to see this BA wrote 5 stories, 5 wireframe, this one, but that's one. And if you can put the list of those wireframe that or the requirement, that's fine. Just list, and yeah. So by the end, I want you to be collating that as we go along, right? In sprint one, this person writes 5 user story. sprint 2, he wrote 2 user story per person. I want to see BA keywords as well and DA, right? So this is very, very important for keyway. How many stories did you write? Manual testing. How many bugs did you raise? Do you get it now? Yeah. So, and as we go to automation, I want to see also that automation as well. The same thing for BA. How many user stories? How many process map? How many wireframe did you write? Do you get it now? And I'm coming back to the Scrum Master. I need to have a metric to actually see what you are doing as well. But for now, I want the Scrum Master to gather those metrics and put it in your board, and let it be let it be in your board, and also put it also in the sprint. You need to be visible to what everybody is doing. So when we're talking about someone is now active, I will measure activity based on what you are doing, right? So if that is good. So okay, let's go back to Alpha quickly. So yeah, the wiki is good as well. So we're done on that aspect. So yeah, so and okay, 1 minute. So quickly. Sorry, bear with me 1 minute. There's something I need to do. Zoom this one out. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, so another thing. 1 minute. So I just need to see my note quickly. Okay. Okay, so your wiki is good. So one thing I also want you guys to look into, this applies to everybody. The team charter I saw were good. Some of them are good. Some of them are still not that great, actually. So which I think is okay. So in your own one, I can see the content of the team charter in there, right? You got your project name, you got your purpose, vision, mission, mandate, team objective, which is good, and deliveries, which is fun. But I really want you to put it in a what's it called? Diagram, actually, right? So if you go to visual, what's it called, Visio, you will see how it's been laid out in Visio, right? I want you to use Visio to do this, right? So because with pictorial diagram, it looks better actually, right, than Word. Do you get it now? So I think you can still expatiate or expand what you've done. Do you get it now? So I want to see that pictorial diagram on next week, right, for everybody, right? Rewrite what you've written, put that in that diagram. If you go to Visio, you're going to see, just go to Visio and say team charter. You see how it's been laid out actually. So if you already have the content, put it in that content. Actually, is you have different section for this, and you can put it in there. So this is another task for next sprint. Can you please be writing this down? Yeah, as we go along. Okay. So, and sprint backlog updates, which is good actually. But one thing I want you guys to do next time is, so in terms of backlog updates, I think you should, except from the comment, I think you should have used the queries in Azure DevOps, right? So because Azure DevOps can give you the query to get your Spring backlog updates and effort and everything. So I would want to see that instead of you putting in this particular format, that yeah, maybe PowerPoint table, right? Instead of PowerPoint table, yeah. So I like the roll up board one, which is good. That's what you've done, which is brilliant. So, but in terms of the stories that you've done, I would use the queries to be able to get that. So I like the board, that was good as well. So it shows where you guys are. But the only issue that I'm not sure that you are able to do any task. Okay, I'm going to leave time for you at the end to respond to all my questions. So yeah, so I really I will prefer to see some of the stories that were done as well in your board, so which I don't see in the screenshot that you actually gave to me. But I think I'm going to assume that okay, there's some stories that were done anyway, which is good. So and yeah, your velocity is good. I can see in terms of what you guys did, and I think I think you got 5 stories for this particular sprint, isn't it? So it's okay. So and yeah, issues, insufficient team capacity. I don't know what that is, to be honest. So, because one thing I can tell you guys, this applies to everybody as well. In terms of team capacity, I think no one should complain actually, because if you, in terms of Scrum Master, even if you have 5 Scrum Master in your team, you guys is one person, okay? If you have 5 BA in your team, is only one person. So even if you are everyone left and it's only one person that is left, so normally it should be only one person in that team. So in terms of team capacity, one person should be enough to do the work. Actually, I know it's going to be time consuming. From next sprint, there will be less training for you to do, because we thought that now you know what you should do, right? We've been able to bombard you with a lot of trainings for you to get up to speed, and I think you kind of appreciate the reason why we need to do that. So, and that's why we train you first, then you do the job, right? So in terms of team capacity, so please ensure that you commit time to this thing. This is very, very important. Okay. uh okay, all right. So user did not meet requirements. Yeah, so another thing, another task that I want to give out, right, which I don't see often in your sprint, in your board, or in all this um, presentation, is definition of ready and definition of done. Right. So this is another task. Okay. Please do write it down as well. In your report next time, I want to see definition of ready, definition of done. So I want to see it in this way, right? For the team, right? For each of the story, right? What is your definition of ready for a story? What is the definition of done for a story? That is one, right? Per story, because when you go for interview, they will ask you what definition of ready. Some people will take it as story level, right? To say what is the nature of ready for a story. When you say a story is ready, what do you mean? When you say a story is done, what do you mean? That is one, right? Another level is now to say per role, right? If a BA says that a story is ready, what do you think? What do you say? What does it mean? If you say a story is done, what does it mean? Right. So the same thing applies to a keyway as well. So if a keyway say a story is ready, what does it mean? What are the things that needs to be in place for a story to be able, for a keyway to be able to pick a story? For when a story, when a keyway say a story is done, what does it mean as well? Right. And now another level of that, this applies to the BA slash QA now, right? A story that's in UAT now, right? Which we know could be picked up by a BA or could be picked up by a QA, right? So when you say a story is done or ready from a UAT point of view, what does it mean? I'm not expecting you to say one line, so it might be maybe 4 or 5 bullet points, right? So on those areas, okay? So that I'm expecting that as one of the tasks. I'm going to answer all the questions. So as we go along anyway, so if you could raise your hand, I would respond to that later. So just note the question down so that you don't forget. So yeah, Alpha team, I like, yeah, the BA did very well as well. So wonderful in terms of your efforts actually, because I can see the stories that you've written, which I think is really, really good as well. Even for the user stories as well. So you written it in giving when then. One thing that I want to correct, I've corrected it before. Please let everyone take note. When you say giving that and navigate to, you don't say www or http blah 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 that. I don't think that is right, because that URL can change. You might be pointing to a test URL right now. It's not the right URL. So you will rather say the name of the product, right? Maybe additional information, you can need additional information, keyway environment is this. Do you get it now? But when you are saying giving and navigate, for instance, you're giving and navigate to, let's say yours is Prep Major, right? Giving and navigate to Prep Major websites. That is generic, because you are not telling them what the URL is, because that can change. But if you want to give that information, right? Because sometimes maybe QA can ask you, where do I test? What do you are, if you know it, do you get it now? So you can put that to additional information to say, okay, URL to use is this. Do you get it now? But don't say giving and navigate to www. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think that is nice. Okay. Please take note of that. I saw that in your screenshot. Except from that, I think everything seems to be good. I can the you actually board into those things, which I think is nice. So, and even the wireframe looks okay as well. So well done for that as well. So yeah. So and yeah, another thing also for the alpha team, I like how you kind of laid out your uh, board in terms of epics and in terms of features and stories. To be honest, it's really, really great. Well done for that. So it's good actually. Things that you need to watch now is the fact that when you've got a story committed into the sprint, it means that the epic is also committed at the same time. Do you get it now? The feature is now committed as well. Do you get it now? So when all everything in that particular feature is done, right? All the story under a feature is done. So the feature is also done. You need to kind of look into that. Basically, I've finished everything under a parent, right? The parent is already finished that way. So look into that. I'm not saying right now, but as you go along doing those stories, also look back to the features as well. So that's one. So you need to look in the ball. The hierarchy is really, really great. Well done for that. One thing I can say is like as I'm giving this feedback and you guys start, you okay, go to Alpha team or watch their presentation and see what they presented, and you can be able to see from that. Look at their presentation for the board, and you can see what I'm talking about when you go back to this particular video. Yeah, the process, okay, sign up process. But really, another thing I don't know, you put this cloud in the terms and condition. I've not seen that, so maybe I'm also learning, unless you tell me that, okay, yeah, this is how it's done, but I've never seen, to be honest. So I don't think that is right. I say I don't think that is right. So, but look into that area. So I'd rather just remove it, to be honest. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So and login process. Okay, so one thing I want you to look into is, okay, is this a process map? Is it a process? So use the right terminology. Sign up process map will be the best. Okay, so that's good. Okay, all right. I think except from that, everything seems to be good with you guys. So you guys already kind of on top of all these things. So yeah, okay. All right, cool. I think yeah. So seems is good in terms of all the user stories that you've written on point as well. So and to be honest, you've done really you've done a lot actually in terms of your work ethic is good. I'm really really impressed. On the keywords as well. So look into the descriptions of your roles and put the same thing said to the other teams as well. So um so yeah, and I think you guys added your test strategy and test plan. I didn't see that in the other team. So other team, please take note. I want to see a sample of your test strategy. At least I know that you've done it. I think you guys only put one screenshot. I want to see table of content of what you had. So next time, please put a table of content because that establish what you actually put in there. But you only put the description at the or the title page anyway. I want to see descriptions on the table of content of what you add, but I think well done, you did very well anyway. So okay, I think yeah, good things you guys are using task, which I think is also good as well. So and in terms of how to put your test cases, the title of your test cases. Sometimes I don't really subscribe to having to put verify. I know some people do that, and I've worked with people that actually do put verify that the header menu is on the landing page. To be honest, I'm not a party to that. I'm not a fan of that because otherwise every of your test case will start with verify, to be honest. That's why I don't, yeah, to be it's you need to watch out for that. If you work in a organization and they don't like that, I'm your test manager, I would ask you to remove it, right? But I've also I saw some test manager they will ask you to put it, but on this platform, I'll say if you are saying verify blah blah blah, please do remove it. I'd rather say use as title because the title, what I'll say the header menu is on the landing page. Do you get it now? That's what I would ask you to do rather than putting verify in all your test cases. I don't subscribe to that. So to be honest, but I'm not saying it's wrong. I've seen people professionally that they do that, but I won't encourage you to do so anyway. So yeah. So except from that, I think you guys are okay. The test cases, yeah. So and the retro steps is also good as well. So yeah. So moving on to the DA, so which I think is good, and I think your DA were the best as well, to be honest. Without yeah, so I think you guys did very well. So in terms of you followed what I told you to do, you went through, you put every story down like that. I think all the DS you look into what you guys have done. Maybe you guys will lead the team and tell them what you've done. So this is what I'm looking for. I think other DS should look into that, how they document their processes. So in terms of what they've done and everything. So which I think is good. Well done, guys, to be honest. And also how you also on the board as well. The Scrum Master, I think you guys for this particular week, I think you did very well. So let me know. Yeah. So one thing I want to add is like your Tableau link. I didn't see that. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see that. So you need to put that in there. So okay. So to be honest, I can continue praising you guys, but let me just move on. So one thing before I move on, someone was saying my partner, do you get it now? I rather use colleague instead of saying my partner. I want to show you my partner's work. Yeah. So that could be confusing anyway. So yeah, but well done. So moving to beta team, you guys also did very well. To be honest, I would say yeah. Uh, in this presentation, you might also come back into the second place or something like that. So uh, your role also I've talked about the what you need to do for the roles as well. So in terms of what you did in the sprint, so you need to look into that team charter. So yeah, you need to redo that as well. But what you did was good as well. But you need to use the format I said right now. Use Visio to do that. Also in terms of your stories, also you are one of those people that also wrote a lot of stories as well. So well done. So yeah, project charter. I didn't see in the other places as well. That's why it's good to do this. That's why I love doing this. When people you see some people doing different things and you look into that. So as you look at this, look at what other people are doing and you are not doing in your own team and put it. So like for instance, Alpha team did not do project charter, they used team charter, but you also went to and do project charter. So that's another thing that other people can emulate. Yeah, in your sprint capacity, I like the way you presented it with how it is on the what's it called on the Azure DevOps. One thing that you need to know is like for the sprint capacity, everyone should take note. You don't actually put capacity on BAs, okay? The only person that you expect to get capacity for right now, even yeah, will be developers and the QAs, okay? Because we know the BAs already done that work before they come into the sprint. So and yeah, so don't put capacity for the QAs, for the BAs, okay? Because that is the reason that you will see your abundant charts being flat and you see the yellow line being at the top, very top actually. So that's one thing. So beware of that anyway. So yeah, the same thing, the BA also did very well. And I like the mind map. Actually, that's one thing. It's very, very good when you brought that out. It was good. Well done, guys, for that. And also the sitemap was also interesting as well. So yeah, I think you guys did wonderfully well actually. So I like the wireframe and your story. So there's a comment I put in my notes, not committed or not done. Okay, basically I didn't see any story done in your spring in your screenshot. Maybe it's on the other side. So next time, so if you are doing the screenshot, this applies to everybody. As let me see the old board actually, so that I will see what is in the new up to what is in the done column as well. So that I'm able to see the story you've done. So yeah, process flow, yeah, it's good as well. Well done for that. Yeah. So I think you are the only person that did the process flow as well. So which I think is good. So but I'm not sure I saw any process map from you. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to look into. You've done some other artifacts, but look into process map as well. Okay, all right. So moving on to your keyword, there are also I like the so I think your descriptions of your roles was details as well. So well done for that. So and also your test cases as well. So which I think is good. You actually itemize those test cases as well. So, and yeah, in some teams actually presented their board to me, and I can't see their test cases linked with the board. But in your own, I could see that, which I think you are following some process, which is good actually. So you are using the giving when then to write your test cases. You know, all that. Okay, I think don't worry, skip that. Yeah, you are using giving when then as well, to be honest. So, but the issue, yeah, I think it's okay because you're using the giving when and you put it then in the assertion, which I think is still okay as well. So we're done for that. So yeah. So and also yeah, the courses. One thing I can say is like your in terms of presentation. So when you want to mark some areas, I would say that use boxes. Don't just use hands to highlight the boxes. If you use boxes, it would be nicer anyway. So I did not see any box that you guys created. So please look into that. So and data analysis as well. So that was good. So okay, so okay, all right. Another thing I put into in my note is that Precious, yeah, Precious, the video was very, very nice in a plain background, actually, because I also look at those videos as well, how your camera looks actually. So in case you go for interviews, so you want to see the angle where your videos is or your camera is sitting. But I think the Precious one was good as well. So yeah, the DA, I think you are also, yeah, I think you guys also did very well in capturing your stories as well. So to be honest, that is good. So and yeah, impediment in this, yeah, I'll skip that. Don't worry. So yeah, and I also say okay, another camera that was good also was Babatunde and also Funsho as well. Well done for to you guys. Okay, so moving on. Okay, moving on quickly. I think data team. Okay.
Yeah, so I just thought to put this out so that everybody is speaking the language in the right way. On one of your slides, Delta team, you said items done and undone. Items done will be understood, but when you say items undone, it would sound better if you say we have items that were done and we have items in progress or items in to do. That makes it clearer to the stakeholder that is listening. Because when you wrap it up in undone, you probably have some items in progress and some in to do. So I just thought to put that out to you. Yeah, that's my feedback for Delta team.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And another thing that is good, I like the person that presented the project mandate actually. So which actually itemized how Epic moves into feature move into stories, which I think it just shows that you kind of understood the process, which is good actually. So the only thing I can say next time, instead of putting the user story in PowerPoint, I want to see it in with Azure DevOps. Okay, just put the screenshot in there. I'll prefer that. So because then I can see how it looks in your Azure DevOps. If that's okay. But what you did was good as well. I like the then clauses actually because you guys are combining and, which shows that you are doing some assertion within your acceptance criteria, which is good. Okay. So, but well done for that. And your stories were quite detailed as well. So, which is good. So, yeah. Okay, and even the wireframe as well, so which I think is really, really good. Keywords, yeah, brilliant as well. So, and one good thing about your keyword also, I could see those test cases written as well in your board, which I think is good. You licked it properly. You know what you're doing actually, to be honest. So, which I think is good. And on time of camera, Emmanuel camera is fantastic as well. So, yeah, also even the keywords in terms of how you wrote your test cases is quite detailed as well, which I think is good. You really know what you're doing actually. You really know, your. But one thing I want you to look into, like I said before, I'm not a fan of putting title verify at the title. It's not that it's wrong. Like I said, other people I've seen, even professionals of my status are writing that way as well. So just need to bear that in mind. Okay, All right. So I think, yeah, on that, to be honest, I think you guys did very well. And also great bug management. You know how to manage your bug as well. So it's good. To be honest, it's yeah, and your presentation is on point as well. So well done to this team. Yeah. So okay, let's move. Okay. All right, cool. So now, and yeah, the DA, yeah, okay, no presentation. Okay, you went to the uh, so in terms of the DA, I think I need to clarify that I don't want learning to be presented. I want to see what you've done. Okay, this is very, very important every day. No, I saw one person, maybe I'll go back to that. The person was putting screenshot of the YouTube channel or something like that. That's not what I want. I want what you did yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna I'll mention that particular team later anyway. So moving to Epsilon, okay, another good presentation. And to be honest, Jibri camera was wonderful actually, and I think he actually dressed up for the occasion as well. So which has gone, and Anselm as well. But okay, Anselm was wearing Man U jersey, which I don't like anyway, but that's okay. So so okay. Now, yeah, okay, let's move to your roles. I think you are one of those people that actually put a lot of words in your role as a scrum master, but like I said, turn it around, make it like a CV now. Yeah, so 20 responsibility in terms of your work ethic. Yeah, even you, I think I like how you actually show it from in depth to done. It shows that you've actually done a lot, of course, a lot of, yeah, uh, stories and other things. But the BA, bear in mind, I know Pat doesn't like this actually. So when you write your title, beware of one line, one word. Do you get it now? Courses, footer. What is that? Do you get it now? Try to make it meaningful that when someone is reading it, it actually makes sense, right? Logo. What is logo? What are you writing logo for? Do you get it now? So at least it makes sense. So don't just write one line, one word title. So let everybody look into that. Mm. So except from that, I think it's your presentation was good as well. Okay. Moving on, I've got anything to add to them?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Epsilon, yeah, another good presentation as well. So yeah, so like I said, yeah, um, let's try to move away from what I've learned to what I have done. Okay, I want to see what you've done anyway. I want to be able to turn this around to say when you go for interview, this is what you're going to be saying. But you guys also did very well as well. You are one of those guys that put the DOR actually. So, but I want you to also put DOD. I've explained what you need to do in there. So, okay. So, and yeah, updates, which I think is good. Authorization, yeah, it's brilliant. Your wireframe was also good. So, also beware, actually. I think I corrected it last time. Okay. Uh, in your wireframe, buttons, you are not representing button properly. Load more, right? Please look into that. That load more should be a button, not over, right? Should be a button logo sign, okay? So look into that. So and edit that, okay? Except from that, I think your yeah, yeah, I like your how you wrote your acceptance criteria, and you had one of those. So you're giving I am on web prep major website, yeah, which is good compared to putting the URL. So which I think is, and even additional information, you even separated it into section 1, section 2, which is really really good. Actually, it delayed that was brilliant. So well done for that. The B, I think you guys are already kind of getting grip of this team, which I think is good. So, and the fact that you even have scenario 1, scenario 2 based on that, and yeah, which I think is fantastic. Actually, I'm loving it, to be honest. So well done for that one actually. So I think your team is yeah on the path to success, to be honest. So and well done. So another thing that I want to correct, I'm not sure this is right. So in your wireframe, location information, you put, I think you put a screenshot colored. So normally wireframes is always on black and white. So yeah, 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 look into that anyway. So, but I'm not saying that is totally wrong, but yeah. So yeah, the roles also, yeah, I've spoken about how you want to do your roles, even though I like the fact that you split it into different phases, but as you split, actually do that. So let be not 2 words or 3 words, let now convert it into something that can be transposed into a CV, okay, like that. So which I think is good. So, but I think the key will let you down, actually, if I may say, in this aspect. But the Scrum Master and BA, you guys are fantastic anyway. So okay, Gamma, yeah, you got okay. So yeah, one thing I want to say, this applies to everybody. I think Gamma had the same issue actually. Initially, I wanted to point out. So when you are presenting, it is a live skill. Don't present with a document that is online. Download the document into your local repository, because online you can have issues. This is very, very important. And also ensure that you are in a quiet location. This is, yeah. So yeah, your role responsibilities, yeah, I said I want 10 or 15. So I think you guys only wrote 5. But yeah, I'm not that kind of impressed, to be honest. So well, right now, giving uh another assignment now. Please do it as I've said, okay? But your team charter is good, actually. I think you are one of the best one, actually, in terms of team charter. But I've given you now that you should use the Visio presentation, because I think that is really, really good. You can keep what you have, but make it in that diagramic, it's like a picture. You can, if you go to Visio, you're going to see that anyway. So sprint planning, yeah, I think it's okay. Okay, and minutes of stand up, that's fine. But bear in mind, as a scrum master, I don't say you should not write minutes of the stand up, but it's not something that is done professionally. Okay, you don't go to office and start writing minutes for a stand up. They don't do that, okay, unless there's any impediment that you need to escalate. Okay, okay, and the retro, that's fine. The same thing with the be a responsibility 3-point agenda, and it's not politics. Okay, so I want 20-point agenda if you want to go to politics like that. Okay, so and yeah, so that is what I want now. Yeah, okay, so yeah, but in terms of user stories and the wireframe, they look okay, to be honest. So that's one thing. But one thing I want you to look into, right? This is very, very important. Maybe I will give you some minutes to talk. I I'm having a feeling that you don't know the difference between a feature and a story, because you are showing me a feature and you are calling it a story, right? So you need to know that you are doing the right thing. What you shown, what you actually showed for me was a feature, not a user story, okay? Or using the right word, product backlog item. So this is very, very important, okay? Another thing I just remember now, I know this is not general. I think I had like 3 people or 4 people mentioning ticket. So sometimes I do that as well, but it's okay. I'm allowed to do that. It's like when you doing your driving test, they tell you you have to abide with the rules. You have to do everything. Once you pass, you can drive anyhow. But God save you, you don't lose your driver license. But it's okay. But before you pass, you have to abide. Do you get it now? So what I'm saying in essence is that use the right words. This is not. I don't think it's from your team. I just remember now some people are saying ticket when they are actually mentioning product backlog item. Use the right word, okay? Ticket is generic for everything, support tickets, even travel tickets. But in here is product backlog item, eh? Or features or epic. So let's use the right words, okay? When you get work or when you decide to work, whether you call it ticket or ticketing, yeah, it's fine. You're already in. So, but try to use the right word right now, okay? So the Kiwi also did very well. I can see you created some bugs, which I think is fine. The only thing I don't see, I think, yeah, those are their test cases as well, which I think is good as well. So well done for that. So and yeah, and also you're using the given when then also for to write your test cases. I don't have any issues with that. So which shows that. So bear in mind, so yeah, you need to know some test manager do not will say, okay, write it in traditional ways. You need to know how to write in both ways. Some test manager will prefer given when then. So when you are using BDD fashion, stick to BDD fashion within that particular test case. Okay. If you are using the traditional approach, stick with that. Don't mix them up together. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. And also good works on the box as well. And also you're using tags as well, which I think is good. So, and from your board. So I was looking to see how you the recreate step for your box. I didn't see that. So just to be able to give you feedback on those one, but I'm going to assume that you've done it. And then also the DA in your team were the one that, yeah, even though it was only four points that they wrote, but I think it's quite detailed in terms of responsibility. I like that. That's what I'm expecting, but I want you to expand it as well. But one thing that I want you to look into, now a BA does this, I want you to own it. Like, yeah, this is your CV now, not like they ensures, yeah. No, I want to, what is your responsibility as a DA? Something that you can put on the CV. Yeah, okay. So, and I like, yeah, you put the Excel and everything, which is good as well. So we're done for that. And okay, and another thing that I want to say, I am not looking for what Taye or anyone did in the class. Okay, I am looking for what you've done. Okay, next time I want to see what you've done. So basically on your story, I want to see, okay, they taught us Excel formula. I have now done Excel formula. This is my screenshot. Okay, that is what I want. Hopefully that's what you've added. Okay, so let's stick to that. Okay, your the Tableau. Okay, I think you are putting the screenshot from the training. I don't want that as well. I want to see what you've done, right? I want to see your own screenshot, yeah, not from the training at all. Okay, so okay, so and yeah, another thing also in terms of the camera, yeah, Olubukanla camera was great, and also it's bold as well, so a great point. So, and also road tipper was okay, even though it's showing only headshot. Okay, you want to show a part of your body as well. So I'm only giving this feedback in case when you're going for interview, you need to know your camera angle. Then moving on to IOTA. Okay, before I move to IOTA, another task for this particular next sprint is like, for this next sprint, please name your sprint. Okay, so I want you to look into that. When you say, okay, this is my sprint, it's going to be sprint 2, right? Yeah, but what's the name of the sprint? Yeah, just call it something. Okay, so name it sprint 2, maybe something, right? Agree. So this is what other Scrum Masters also do to make to spice their team. So they maybe at the first in your what's it called, sprint planning, you use that to say, okay, let's come with names, and it's kind of like icebreaker. Do you get it now, to actually let people talk and say, okay, next sprint you're going to suggest the name for the sprint. Okay, so but you still say sprint 2 and put the name of the sprint. Okay, so that is one way to kind of own your sprint. Okay, yeah, the responsibility for, so I'm talking about the IOTA now. IOTA actually, yeah. Your responsibility in terms of Scrum Masters were good as well. So which I think you've got my feedback on how I want it. So your team charter was also good as well. You are one of those that did very well. And yeah, team racing was also good as well. No one actually did that. So other teams, so please look into that. I want to see your team races basic chart, okay, in that aspect, okay. But that was a great one. Well done for that. So, and I couldn't see the other section of your team charter. Okay, so I want to see that. So, but next time I want to see the whole team chart using Visio. Okay, so and your sprint report, yeah, like I said, I would have preferred this. I'm not sure. It seems I saw this before in one of the. So yeah, in one of the, yeah, maybe there's someone that's kind of linked to other teams. Okay, but I want to see your sprint report using Visio Azure queries, right? Azure queries, not table. Capacity, like I said, is okay, but ensure that you don't put capacity for your BAs, okay? It's only developers and the QAs that you need to put the capacity for. So, but I think what you guys, in terms of your retro, Bundan chart, I think it looks good, but your Bundan chart is so flat. You need to look into that. It's so flat. So, and the reason I can say was because your capacity was too much, right? I think you are having like almost maybe over 500 capacity, and but your velocity is like 10. So that's where your Bundan chart becomes like a flat line, right? So you need to cut down the capacity, right, or remove the BS and everything, so that your Bundan chart would actually show. Another thing, because of that, you can't even know whether you are burning down as you go along the sprint. So because it's just kind of flat. So please look into that. So yeah, the rows of BAs are also good as well. And your board, you show your board, I think, yeah. And one thing I want to say is I think in time of your board, you need to look at the hierarchy actually. So I'm not sure whether you, probably not actually, because I can see some features that are childless, right? That features should need to have the stories underneath. Okay, you need to look into that. So you need to have the structure like epic at the top, then you have feature inside the epic, and you have your stories inside the feature. So you want to have the hierarchy. Okay, so, and that is very, very important. I want you to look into that. So when everyone, this is very important. So when everyone is showing their board next time you want to present your board or a full board, I want to see the hierarchy as you expanded. I want to see the epic inside the epic. I want to see the feature under the epic. I want to see the story under the epic. This applies to everybody. Okay, yeah, keyways also, your roles and responsibility is fantastic. So, and that also is fine. So, and yeah, I think someone was saying running the show. Let's be professional in delivering it, but that's okay. Is okay anyway. I don't have any issue. But one thing that I can see in your team, you also kind of have great knowledge of the process. You know how things are moved from one level to the other, which I think is really, really good actually. So, and well done for that. Yeah, and what you've also written some created some bugs as well. So, and also the fact that you also know out and when you created a bug, you have to do regressions and everything. That it was a great report. Well done for that as well. So, and the DA also, yeah, fantastic. You show how a bug should be written, but like I said, I want to see what you've done. I want to see what you've done. Yeah, in the sprint. So moving on to Kappa quickly. So yeah, so you got 3 stories committed. So like I said, I'm not that impressed with only 3 stories actually within your team. Yeah, I'm expecting 5 people to have done more than that. So yeah, and a bug is created. Yeah, but okay, but I'm expecting you to do more, to be honest. So even yeah, I didn't see responsibility for your team. It just even when you presented your your presentation, at this you are only talking about your retrospective, and I just have to make head or tail with it. Okay, this is retro that you're talking about. What about even your boards? I didn't see as a scrum master as well. So I think your team, you need to, yeah, you need to do a lot actually, please. So, and okay, team charter, you just put a link in there. So I want to see it, right? I want to see them. So not just put a link, okay? So, okay. And okay. And another thing also, I think the person that did presentation showed the board actually. So, and he was saying this is our tax board. So there's difference between tax board and your board. So, and though I think you might be confusing that, okay, one is board, one is tax board. If you go into your board, you see there's one board and there's one under board. You kind of, if you go to the sprint and under the sprint, you see the tax board. So you need to know the difference between those two, okay? So, and your keyway also, you are mixing BDD with traditional approach of testing. So you need to stick to one. So, okay. And yeah, okay. And I think you added some Bundan chart to your, well done for that. So, and okay, of course, you won't achieve your sprint. And I like that. I like that submission that, okay, even though you only had 3 stories, which is okay anyway, but I wanted you to add more, but you concluded that you are not able to finish because of that. You did not achieve your sprint goal, which I think it's okay to make that submission. Okay. So, okay, I think. Okay, like I said, I'm not impressed that you couldn't do more on time of the stories. Okay, so ensure that you put more effort. Okay, so I really want to say, even as a BA, right? There's nothing stopping a BA from writing 5 stories within the sprint. Okay, that will be my target. Each BA should write 5 stories, right? Each QA should test 5 stories or 5 requirements. That's like 1 story in 2 days, right? And it doesn't take more than 1 hour or two to do this, right? So that is my target for everyone. So each BA, you need to write 5 stories, right? QA, at least 5 test cases, okay? And yeah, and the same way with DA as well, at least you have 5 stories to work on, okay? Yeah, your test cases was not that great. Okay, so and there's no even you, to be honest, you guys did not actually follow my process, to be honest, and you need to improve that. Okay, you need to, even if I'm going to write your name down, so and this parts, please, you need to look at for this particular team. Okay, so it's car part team, please. We need to, yeah, you guys need to do well next time. Okay, so yeah, I'm not impressed. Okay, so and okay, let's move to the next thing, but please don't beat yourself up. This first sprint. Okay, I'm giving this feedback, yeah, yeah, so that you can improve. Okay, so I want to see better kappa team next time. Okay. Okay. And Lambda, okay, good. I think I like how your calendar, okay, which is good. So, and your responsibilities, I've actually mentioned that, yeah, but it was good. So I want you to convert that. So the board estimation board, it's okay. Anyway, that is fine. Team charter. So yeah, you can do better on those team charter anyway, which I think is good. But I can see what you put in there. Okay, definition of done and revenue. I think you guys already got some of the sections in there. So well done for that. So yeah, so if you can convert it into visual format, that would be good. Sprint planning. So if you, I think one thing, don't put the what's it called, mentors in your sprint planning, because they are not doing anything. The bodies are not doing anything. Only those guys that are doing work, those are the guys that you want to put work. That's where Scrum Masters are not doing, they are not doing anything. BAs are not doing anything within your board. So that's why you don't put them as part of your capacity. So developers and BAs, okay? And roles of a BA, that also is brilliant as well. So yeah, which I think is good. So, okay, keywords. I think, yeah, you guys also did very well. But in terms of your test cases, you need to also do better as well. You need to do better at test cases. Okay. So, you are mixing the format as well. So you need to look into that, or don't just write one line test case, to be honest. So I'm not impressed about that. Okay. So you need to, yeah, you need to do more. I like the fact that, okay, you've created some bugs, which I think is good. So and yeah, and you've passed them as well. So which I think maybe they've already been fixed, which I think is good. So okay, okay. So in terms of your impediment, I think, okay, all right. So I think I will leave that for now. Okay, Theta. Okay, Theta. Okay. Okay, your presentation was good as well, so well done. So I like the roles, but like I said, I would prefer it's not 2 words or 3 words. Okay, let it be CV format roles. Okay, So your progress is fine. So yeah. Okay, so and also summary about your stories. I like how you laid out your your board as well, which I think is good. This is what I'm expecting. You put the epics, the features, and also the stories. Okay, so that is fine. Great structure actually in terms of your or how you your board actually. The stories are also good as well. So I think what you've written in the stories are also good. I think the BA, okay, and the wireframe are also okay as well. So and yeah, and yeah, I think the wireframe here as well. So well done for that. So and the keywords, I think, yeah, the keywords already kind of raising bugs, and also you're adding stories as well, so which I think is good. So you mentioned the fact that you are 5 and now 3. So yeah, so anyone that is not active at the end of the day, I've given the Scrum Masters privilege and also access to sack them. Okay, please do sack them and let we know that this person is no longer within your team. So all this, yeah. Yeah. So another thing also, let's try to be professional in how we present our cases. This is very, very important. I know some people are kind of, yeah, like myself also, I'm kind of sometimes jovial. So, but in some cases, professional. You are not catching bugs, okay? So that's another thing. It's not the right format, but I know we can make jokes, another thing. So within your team, there are reports that you could be laid back as well. So please watch out for that, to be honest. So, and that is the feedback I'm getting from your team. Yeah, you guys are dealing a lot, but in some cases you can relax. So it's okay when you kind of get together. I want you to have that, to have a rapport, be friend, but also do your work and also be professional. So sometimes they say you come for meeting, you start speaking Yoruba throughout, and no, please let's maintain, yeah, professionalism in this. And another thing is writing programs. I really don't know whether that was a I want to correct that, but I don't know what to say to that. So when you say you are writing programs, so you're writing programs. So, but bear in mind there's something that is a bit off in that aspect. So I really don't know how to correct, but unless so I will look at for that anyway. So, but by and large, that was a nice presentation. So, but look into your ways of working, right, as a team, right? So, and yeah, but you guys have done very well. So, Upsilon, yeah, great presentation as well. I like that. So, great detail about your project, right? So that was good. Great to know about your project. So, and your mandate as well, and what your goal is, what you plan to achieve within the sprint. I like the organogram, which is good, and description about the role. This is fantastic. This is what I was looking for. Great detailed as well in terms of your role as a SM. But now, what you need to do now, look at those areas that, for instance, like the help team to focus on creating high value incremental to meet DoD. To be that is fantastic. Something like that to perform the Scrum Master ceremony within the time box. That is what I'm looking for actually. So, and you can even transpose that. But of course, something like facilitator, servant leader, mentor, teachers, and coach, you can elaborate on those areas. But I think in terms of your roles and description, these guys have kind of nailed it actually. So well done on that aspect. So, and so in terms of your meeting, you fix the meeting at 7 p.m. But be mindful that on Thursdays we have meeting from 6 to 7:30. Okay, and that time should be free for everybody. Okay, so no one should have any meeting at that particular time. So I'm just kind of calling that out. Okay, but okay, on your Azure board, I think, yeah, you went through how you create your session, which I think is good. The wireframe was also good as well. How you wrote your stories also it is good as well. So well done to that. Yeah, issues with communication. So roles of a BAs, I think is good, but the Scrum Master they were more detailed than the BA, but I think your BA also was also good as well. So well done. So, and quality assurance, to be honest, the quality assurance guys actually let you down in terms of the role. So that was so punchy actually. So please expatiate on that one and also write it in a format, in a CV format. Okay. Quick tax again. Another tax I want to give out, right, for this particular sprint or going forward. So I want you as a team or everybody now, all the teams now, have a what I other team or at workplace, what I will have called lunch and learn session or brown bag session, whatever you want to call it. So it's a session where you come together as a team and you learn from each other, or you do a brown bag session. Okay, you come, so you have that session within your team. So maybe 1 hour every week. That time should be planned. Okay, and you can also use that time to go through, like right now I say you should write your responsibility. Let each one of you kind of do like a mock. Okay, go through your responsibility for me. The person goes through that. It's kind of like a mock interview, so to say, but you are using it to actually say, okay, this is what I do. Also, you can use it to say, okay, one of the QAs or BAs, can you run through what you did last sprint? You get it now. And to be in an interview, it's not going to get better than that, actually. So I want that session, yeah, book that session and let the admin know when you book that session. You need to let the admin know. We book our, maybe you call it personal development session, learn and launch and learn session, or brown bag session, whatever you call it, or maybe you can call it a different name. I want it like at least maybe an hour every day, or sorry, every week, so that you can use it for this purpose. Okay. All right. So going on this one, okay, your QA actually wrote the test cases in traditional approach, which I think is okay. I don't have any issues with that. And they also raised bugs as well, which I think is good. I can see the test cases attached to your story. So yeah, okay, I think they're there. Okay, actually, okay, thank you for that. So, and okay, I think Zeta, bear in mind this Blue Sky logo has changed, so that's not the right one. So I know you guys have got some issues because yeah, you guys are the yeah yeah, the pioneer team for dynamics, and to be honest, this is one of the best team ever. Actually, you are in one of the challenging team, so brace up, but you're going to learn a lot from that actually. So as you can see that you already learn a lot. So but good thing that you said that your team, even though it's a big team, everyone is participating, you don't have an inactive member. Kudos to you and well done for that. So but challenges you always have, and that's why you are here, to be honest, to solve those challenges. But well done on that anyway. I can see that you kind of put some people in red. I don't know whether maybe those people I need to chase out, or I don't, okay, maybe not. Or anyway, don't worry. So in terms of capacity, so okay. So in terms of your report, they are also good as well. So I can see, yeah, and also the BA reports, you guys. So the only thing I want to say, I want to see the hierarchy as well. How epic, how you wrote your epic, your features, and also your stories, how they link together. One thing, the camera for Ikeme, Kobe, I think they're great. Well done for that. So, and yes, so I can see you've written a lot of stories as well. So I think I'm really impressed with little time and also with challenges that you guys have got in yeah. So I think yeah, that is good. And yeah, keyways also, I think you guys are also coming up as well. And also the functional consultant, even though we're yeah, so you're also kind of learning. So yeah, so I think someone is showing the screen. So if you can remove your camera. So who's that? Lola, can you take off your camera, please? Thank you. Thank you. So, okay. All right. So I think, yeah, in terms of what you're going to learn is going to be great, actually. So, yeah, I think you kind of, yeah, get the account ready. So, which I think is good. So at least you kind of started with that. So, which I think is good. So you're going to learn more from this one. So, all right, that is it. Oh, I think I'm on point now. 5 minutes to the end of the session. So that is the report. I'm gonna, if the admin can stop the recording for Yeah, so you can start another one. So I'm going to quickly go through if anyone has got any question. What is the difference